For Family and Genus by Shaky Graves, you're going to need a G chord, an E minor, a C, and I think this is some type of D, I'm honestly not sure. It's the same thing as a C chord, but you just move it up 2 frets. Those are the only chords that you need. And so to start out with, like, the first part of the intro, that sounds like this. What I'm doing there is I'm just going between a G and an E minor. And then you're gonna have this just basically going on the entire time. And what that is my ring and my pinky are on the 3rd fret of the bottom 2 strings. I just hit them both at the same time and take them off. I hit them both at the same time. So I play my G like this for the intro. I just have my ring finger on there, and then these 2, like I told you guys, or I have my middle finger on there. And so I hit the bass, and then those 2, then take your fingers off, and then hit the bottom 2 again. And then I do that over again. Hit the bass, and do that. And then you move to the E minor, where you're also going to have your pinky and your ring finger on the bottom 2 strings of the 3rd fret. And technically you don't even need any other fingers, because you're just going to hit the bass, which is just the open low E for this, but I tend to put my fingers there just out of habit. But you're going to do the same exact thing, just bass, bass, and then those 2 on, those 2 off, bass, those 2 on, those 2 off. And that's the first part of the intro, and you're just going back and forth between that. And then you go into the second part of the intro where he starts like picking the individual notes. And this part is pretty hard. It's honestly a little hard for me to even teach, because I change it up a ton. Each time I play it, I feel like I'm doing different things. But I'll teach you like just some basics so that you can get it really, really close to what it sounds like, and hopefully get the general feel of it. So what you're gonna do basically the entire time for the rest of the song is you're gonna have an alternating bass, and in this case for the G, it's gonna be the low E and the D string, and you're just gonna go back and forth between those 2 the entire time. So make sure you have that down. I'm also palm muting for the majority of this song, which is where I put kind of my palm by the bridge of the strings. And it gives them that kind of muted sound. So you can feel free to try that. It also works if you don't palm mute it too. It'll still sound good either way. But I just thought I'd let you guys know I'm palm muting. So alternating bass, and then for the G, you're gonna have this melody, I guess, that goes with the alternating bass. It's gonna be all on the G string, and it's gonna be open, 2, 4, 2, open. Sounds like this. And you're gonna play that with the alternating bass. that's essentially it for the G portion. Then you go into the E minor. So for the G, I guess I could try to teach you more of what I'm doing exactly. So I'm hitting the low E, and then I go D, G, and then I go back to the low E, and then I pinch the G and the D together, but I put my index finger down on the second fret of the G string. So far, I think we have this. Try to show you guys a little better. Then after that, I hit the low E, and then I pinch the D and the G, but I put my pinky on the 4th fret of the G. So far we have this. Then I hit the low E, and then I pinch the G and the B, or the G and the D again, but I take my pinky off and I leave my pointer finger on the 2nd fret of the G string. And then I hit the low E, and then I pinch again the G and the D, but take everything off. So that's what I do for the G. And then for the E minor, I guess, you're still gonna have the alternating bass. You still wanna have that down. And then the melody that you're gonna play over that is, again, on the G string. It's open, then 2, then open. Like that. So what I'm doing there is the low E, and then the D, and then the G, then the low E, and then I pinch the D and the G, and then I hit the low E, and then I pinch the D and the G without my index finger on there. So I guess that first time I pinched, you add your ring finger onto the 2nd fret of the G string. So it should look and sound like this. And then when you hit the G string on the 2nd fret with that ring finger, if you can, try to kind of give it a little wobble. I think that's what I hear in the recording. Kind of like that. It's kind of hard sometimes to not like mute some strings on accident, but if you can, add that in there. And then you're just gonna go back and forth between those two, the G and the E minor, with those melodies kind of underneath that alternating bass. And then you do that a couple times. Then you go to a C chord, and then that, I think, is a D chord. Then back to the G. And what I'm doing when I'm picking the C and this one, I'm just hitting the A string, and then the D, and then the G, and then the A, and then the D, and then I move up to this chord. I do the same exact thing, and then I go to this G. You just alternate the bass, and that's it for the intro. So you have this part, then you do the picking part, and that's kind of the basis of the intro. It's tricky, it's tough, it's hard for me to teach. I know it's probably difficult for you to learn and understand, but I apologize. I hope that you're getting there. After that though, I guess that's the hardest part of the song. The rest is really similar, but just with less going on. So, like I said, the end of the intro, you just have this alternating bass, and then every once in a while, you can just throw in an open G, which I go like that. So I hit like the low E, and then the D, and then the G. So I just alternate the bass, and then I'll throw in an open G, and then I switch to the E minor. And you do the same thing, and then you're gonna add, kind of like in the intro, with your ring finger, you're gonna put it on the second fret of the G string, and then take it off. So this is the verse when he starts singing. So all I'm doing is alternating the bass, and then putting that in there, and then every once in a while you can just hit the open G. And then there's a part where he'll do that while he's singing, and then he'll stop singing, and then I hear, and the G section, then you just play with your pointer finger that second fret G, and then open, and then the E, do the same thing. So I guess the verse should sound something kind of like this. And then you go through that again, and then after you go through the second time, you could just strum the C, then strum this D thing, and then you kind of just go through the intro again. Or if you don't want to have to deal with all the complexities of the intro, you can just kind of play the verse again, and it'll sound really similar, like the same thing. And that's kind of all I have for the song. I know it's kind of all over the place in this tutorial, or this lesson, I don't know, but I'll try to play it. I'll try to play all of it slowly, so you can kind of understand what I'm trying to get at. So here we go. That's basically all I have. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions, want me to clarify anything, definitely feel free to ask in the comments, and I will try my best to answer to the best of my ability. Also, if you know how to play this better than me, or you know just a few things that I missed, definitely put those in the comments too. That would help a ton, help me and help everybody else. So, yeah, that's all I got for this one.